Guys, hi Tasty Peanut. Good morning. Well. Welcome to the Random Guy podcast. I'm Stan. I'm a random guy here sitting in the car talking to y'all. It is Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. And boy, we sure had a punch in the nose to the U.S. stock market yesterday with the Chinese AI company. It's even on the cover of the New York Post, which usually has just some, random crap on there. But I got the Wall Street Journal today. I usually don't buy the Journal except on the weekends, just so I get a good read on this Chinese AI company. And essentially, what it boils down to is this company, DeepSeek. It says, quote, DeepSeek released last week an AI model that appeared to perform on par with a cutting-edge counterpart from OpenAI, the U.S. firm at the heart of the AI craze. The twist: creative engineering tricks meant DeepSeek needed far less computing power. The upshot is that the AI models of the future might not require as many high-end NVIDIA chips as investors had counted on. And so, even with this AI, everything's cheaper in China, guys. And so there was a sell-off. I think the market fell about 600 points. The Dow. NVIDIA lost something like $589 billion in value. It's a ridiculous amount. But, nothing is certain, man. And, China is going to do it cheaper. China, as Trump says, China. So is this a shot across the bow for the United States? To Trump? Maybe. I don't know. Green Thing, good morning, honey. You're up early. Did you sleep well? Green Thing, I saw that picture of your dog sleeping by the wood-burning stove. Quinn looks so cozy there on the pillow. It was really, really beautiful picture. Alleged. I don't understand, sir, but good morning. Archie, hello from almighty Kazakhstan. Good morning. Archie, good morning. Solitan, good morning. Seems like a buying opportunity to me. Yeah, always, every dip it could be a buying opportunity, no doubt. There's no doubt in that. Empty I am. Am I late? No, we're just getting started, Empty. Green Thing, she loves the fire. Yeah, I could see. It's a cute little pup you have there. Good morning. Archie, where are you from, sir? My driver's side rear tire's losing air, and I could not find a puncture hole anywhere on it, so I'm gonna have to replace the tire. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but I got to do that. I'm gonna do that after work today. I'm gonna stop at one of these Town Fair Tires. Town Fair Tire is the local, big wholesaler of tires, and I could get a decent tire there for maybe $150. Kazakhstan, okay. How many years until I retire? Excuse me, I have a little bit of a sore throat today. Empty, I'm retiring next year. I'm going to be 61 next month, and I'm going to retire right after I turn 62, where I could collect the early Social Security. The primary reason for my early retirement is my parents' health is deteriorating. My dad has dementia, and my mom had a stroke. I'm living with them, and I'm essentially their caretaker, although I'm still working. But the situation is not getting any better, and it's almost getting to the point where I need to be there, almost around the clock. I was planning out my docket for next week, and I realized one of them had an appointment next week, and I have my calendar here. I have to have everything written in. It's on the 4th. My mom has an appointment with the neurologist, so I think I'm just going to take the whole day off. I took Tuesday off, and the cases that I would have done on Tuesday, I'm just sending out to counsel to take care of. What do you do? Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. I'm the closest living relative to my parents. My brother, I have one brother. He lives out in California. He's 3 years younger than me. So he just turned 57, I think. Back in September, he turned 57. Crazy. Sir, can you please help me? I will try, Crazy. What can I help you with? Thank you, Empty. You as well. One day at a time, my friend. One day at a time. But yeah, I mean, this AI thing, you can always expect China to undercut something, even if this is their own technology, or if they somehow have pilfered it and found a cheaper way to do it. But it's a big shot across the bow to the U.S. technology firms. That maybe it's not all it's cut out to be, and there's a cheaper way to do things. And if there's a cheaper way to do things, they're going to do it. They're going to cut costs left and right. And I talked a little bit about AI yesterday when I was talking about prospects for Gen Z. I wanted to get a little further into the types of income, which I think younger people are not really familiar with this. This isn't taught to them. And if it is, they don't listen, and they soon forget. And these people that you see on YouTube, I'm quitting the 9 to 5 and blah blah blah. What they're talking about is they're quitting the earned income. The earned income is just one form of income that is out there. That's only the one form. That's the most labor-intensive, time-intensive form of income is earned income. You're trading your time doing something in exchange for pay, right? And so it takes up a lot of your time. Most of your time, is doing the earned income. The problem here in the United States is that many people are overextended. They have a bigger house than they need. They have more expensive cars than they need. They have student loans they don't need. They have credit cards up the ass, and so they are overextended, and their earned income just goes solely to pay these things off, to service their debt. It's not even really paying it off because they're just paying the bare minimum on these credit cards. If you took your credit cards, if you're paying $200, $300, $400 a month on these credit cards, if you could pay them off, if you could somehow manage to allocate funds, either get a part-time job or cut out some other things out of your life that you don't need and pay those credit cards off, that's $200, $300, $400 extra that you have that you could put into savings. And the key to getting into these other buckets of income is to have savings, is to be cash heavy. Okay? If you don't have any cash in the bank, you really don't have any access to any of these other sources of income. That's the problem these young people don't see. They see the earned income, they see it takes a lot of hours. They're like, fuck this, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna sit in my nana's basement until she kicks the bucket and the reverse mortgage kicks me out onto the street. There's no plan for the future here. You got to get cash heavy. You got to go monk mode. You got to go whatever. There's a guy I'm watching now, a younger guy. He's in his 40s, I think. A divorced dad. He calls it going into no man's land. Robert Eason. What is it? Edson? EIDSON or something like that. Check him out. I'll put his link in the description later. This guy is awesome. He's an ex-army guy. He can give you younger guys a good kick in the ass. A good kick in the ass to put you straight and tell you how things are in the world. Speaks much better than I do, certainly. Let's see, AW, good morning. How hard is the bar exam now that I didn't do the bar exam? I'm not an attorney. I've been accused of being an attorney here. In fact, I've been called a fake attorney. And so I took that moniker for a while. I played with it. People were trolling me. He's a fake attorney. I'm a hearing officer for an insurance company. I do hearings versus other attorneys. I do attorney's work, partially. But I'm not an attorney. I don't have power of the court. Like, I can't depose a doctor or an injured worker. I can't subpoena medical records from a hospital. That you have to be an officer of the court, which attorneys are. And I'm not an attorney. I don't have that power. So I could handle a lot of the simpler stuff, and there's a lot more of the simpler stuff. The payment disputes, treatment disputes, things that can be taken care of one or two hearings. That's the stuff I do. And it's much better for me because I'm out of the office. I can't stand sitting in the office. I was a claims adjuster for many years, and it was burning me out, man. It was burning me out sitting in the office all day. So to answer your question, AW, how hard is the bar exam? I don't know. I didn't take the bar exam. And at this stage in my life, I'm on the verge of retirement. I'm not taking the bar exam. What's up, Ghost Towns? PY, good morning. How are you this morning? I'm good, bro. I'm good. Where did your neck go? It's still there, guy. It's still there, yeah. I got to lose 30 pounds, from sitting on my ass at work, or sitting in my car driving to and from different courthouses. It's still there, though. I have a neck, bro. Let's see. Green thing. PY, thank you. China deep sea could be a game changer. Yes, Putty Cat. I was talking about that, man. It undercuts all this shit. Everything's cheaper in China, man. Everything. Even the fucking AI's cheaper. 9 to 5 if in the right place. I mean, you got to start somewhere. Empty. You got to start somewhere. My error is I never got into these other buckets that I'm going to talk about, these other investments, because I was busy as a single parent. I was busy as a remarried combined family, keeping a roof over our head, and just getting everything done and not really allocating money like I should have into these other buckets. And so now that I'm divorced the second time, I'm not getting married again, ever again. No mas. Okay? I'm done. Good morning, Bradley. How are you, my friend? Everything's more laden with toxins in China too. Yeah, man. You know they don't give a shit about the economy or the environment, I should say. They care about the economy, not it's the environment they don't give a fuck about. If you're working only 9 to 5, you're not going to advance. Exactly, Putty Cat. That's my point here today. So we get through one more message here too. I would love some money. Would you like to invest in me? Serious question. No, Lee, I don't know who you are, but thank you. Marriage is a risky proposition, Putty Cat. Yeah, I mean, I've been there. I tried it. I had my first marriage resulted in 2 kids. You know, I don't regret having kids. I have a grandchild now. But, you know, it is a risky proposition. More than half of marriages end in divorce, with 70 or 80% of those divorces being initiated by the wife. So for a guy, it's a dangerous proposition, man. I mean, are you going to get on a plane where there's a 70%, 80% chance of it fucking crashing? Probably not, man. I mean, it's probably better just cohabitate with a woman, have kids, live that way, you know. And I don't know. You know, I'm too old to care about that kind of shit. You know, I really am. I can't. Big dump on NVIDIA, yeah. Starting my own small business here. It's my New Year's resolution. That's great, Bradley, man. Awesome. Awesome. And that's one of the buckets, income buckets I'm going to talk about here in a minute. I have all the tools I just needed to make cards and flyers and advertise and get the word out. Yeah, man. You got to sell yourself, bro. You got to sell yourself. You know. You got to print business cards. You know, there was a car wash I went to when I lived down in East Haven on the shoreline. It was in Brantford, next town over. Brantford's like a upper middle class town. There's some enclaves with really, you know, fucking billionaires living there and shit. I think Derek Jeter, Mel Gibson had houses on the shoreline there. Yeah, there's areas there's a lot of wealth. But anyway, there's this car wash, a very popular car wash on Route 1, and you drive up. You have to get out of the car, right? You don't sit through it. You get out of the car. They come in, they vacuum it. You know, they're all Mexicans and shit. You know, they do a good job though, bro. I throw them a 5. You know, I give them a 5 spot, and then you know, the car goes through the whole thing, and it comes out the other end, and another group of Mexicans wipes it down. And I put another 5 in there. They got like this metal mailbox thing locked that they divide the tips up at the end of the day. So, you know, I go in there and they do a good job, man. I tip them, man. But the point I was making to Bradley is when you walk into this car wash, there's like a bulletin board. There's all sorts of business cards there, multiple business cards, realtors, insurance people, insurance agents, painters, carpenters, you know, everything under the sun, landscapers. You know, you get business cards, Bradley, hang them up everywhere. You go to your favorite restaurant, sometimes they have a little wall like that where you could leave your card. Some of these gas stations, even, they have little plastic slots where you could leave your card right at the pump, man. Do that, man. Put your shit in there, man. Spread the word. You do a great job, word starts to spread. You know, people start saying, yeah, go to this guy. He knows what he's doing. And so it grows exponentially, man. You're going to have to hire people, man, if you're doing well enough. Empty, what's your advice for Gen Z who don't know what to do? Well, here's my advice, guys, for every generation, no matter what you are, but certainly for Gen Z, you got plenty of time to become wealthy, you know? So earned income, that's the first and most basic source of income. That's working, you know, working day in, day out, you get paid for your labor. It takes up all your time. That's earned income. It's the most time-consuming form of labor. Okay, you have to save off of that. You have to create a bucket of savings that you can then get into these other forms of income. Most millionaires in the United States, listen to this, this is important. Most millionaires have at least 5, 6, or 7 of these buckets of income. They don't have the one income. They have multiple income streams. So the first income stream is the earned income. We know what that is. The second form of income is dividend income. You buy stocks, dividend type stocks, well-established stocks that pay a quarterly dividend. You could buy exchange traded funds that pay out a monthly dividend. There's all sorts of dividend types of things that you can get into. That's something you could do if you're younger. Probably not the most aggressive way to grow wealth, but it's a steady, stable way to create wealth. For somebody my age, when I'm 60, to have a bucket of dividend stocks, get that quarterly check every quarter, a couple $1,000s or whatever. Take that, pay the fucking house tax on that. You know what I'm saying? So there's dividend income. That's number 2. Number 3 is rental income. Okay? Simple enough. Rental property. You buy a 3-family house, 2-family house, whatever, duplex. Live on one side, rent out the other side. Or rent out the 2 floors above you. Be there on the premises where they can't fuck around with your property. If you're there, they're not going to damage. They're not going to have extra people coming and going. They're not going to have junk cars up on blocks, in the front yard and shit. If you could keep an eye, start simply with one property that you're living in, you could get rental income. Right? You got to go fix a faucet. Go fix the fucking faucet yourself, Fix the toilet apparatus. Open the fucking toilet tank. Put in the fucking $10 piece that it needs, and it's fixed. You don't need to call a plumber. Okay, so the rental income's number 3. Number 4, business profits. And Bradley, this is where your business comes in. This again, it entails some form of time and effort, especially if you're starting out, man. And when you're starting out, you're out there in the field. You're doing everything. You're supervising crews or whatever you're doing, So you're taking up a lot of your time, man. And but that with that comes the rewards of business profits. At the end of the month, you're either lost money or you made money. At the end of the year, hopefully you turn a nice profit. You take a chunk for yourself. You made $100,000, put 50 into the business, buy a new truck, whatever, put 50 in your pocket, or, buy some stock or something, or put it down on a rental property or something, make that money grow for you. So there's business profits. Royalty income. Okay. Royalty income, where you write a book, you create a song, even these I'm into photography. I took this photograph in the thumbnail of an old tabletop type of above ground crypt. This was in Norwich, and it's fallen apart. It's from the 1700s, and there's critters living in there, And I thought it's an old cemetery from the 1700s. This crypt type of thing is from probably early 1700s, 1750 maybe. And, the body's long dissolved. There's no body in there. There may be a few brass buttons or something like that, but there's nests of, mice and shit in there. And I named that photo Room with a View, And ultimately, if all you have is this earned income, you don't have these other sources of income, that's what you're going to end up with. You're going to end up in the fucking ground with nothing, But there's more. There's more beyond royalty. I mean, royalty, even YouTube creators, the very successful ones, you know, their residuals. I mean, you get the ad income with the videos, live streams that you do. But if they're very popular, those old videos that they have, those old live streams still get traffic. That is a form of royalty income. That's content that was created that's still generating income. So you could get royalty income off of YouTube even. You know, um, capital gains. Capital gains are profits on stocks and bonds. Well, not so much bonds, but stocks. You buy a stock at a certain price, you hold it for a while, it goes up, you sell it, you have a capital gain. Of course, the tax man's going to want his piece of the action too. So you need a good accountant. You can try doing the taxes yourself if you're a tax person. You know what you're doing. But once you start doing these other buckets of wealth, it's always better to have a professional person hired. Pay them. They'll find you loopholes that'll save you thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars maybe sometimes. And then the last form of income beyond capital gains is interest income. And that's the simple interest income that you earn off a CD, certificate of deposit. It's probably the easiest place to put your money after you have earned income that you saved, that you don't know what to do with. Put it in a short-term certificate of deposit, 3 months duration or something. You'll get 5% off some of these. So, those are the forms of income you guys need to consider. Everything beyond earned income. Don't get hung up on the earned income. You need the earned income. You got to work. You got to hustle. You got to get that cash heavy. You got to have cash in your hand. And then you can get into these other forms of income. Okay, dividend income, rental income, business profits, royalty income, capital gains, and interest income. So those are the forms of income that you younger people should be aware of. Let me get to some of the messages here, guys. See if I missed anybody. Go back. Okay, so here we are. Bradley, eventually I want to get contracts to advertise local business, make passive income that way. Yeah, I mean, Bradley, look into buying an advertising sign off of I-95. I don't know where you think you're down in the Maryland area, maybe DC or someplace down there. Look into buying one of these things off a main road. You could buy a piece of land, get the, look into this before you do anything. See if you could put on a long pole advertising sign. There's got to be sufficient traffic coming and going though. Try to put the advertising on both sides, Yeah, that's great, Bradley. You got a smart head on your shoulders, man. You got plenty of time to make a killing in whatever you do. Thanks, Bradley. Putty Cap, Gen Z, put at least 10% into retirement account. Buy a home as soon as you can. 20% cash down. Do not spend money on new cars, etc. Yeah, Putty Cat, with regard to the home buying, you got anybody considering buying a home now? Again, I said this yesterday. Newer homes are built like shit. Newer homes. Here's my neck, guys. See, I have a neck. Newer homes are built like shit. If you're gonna buy a home, you're starting out. Consider buying a home built before 1980. Sometime maybe between 1950 and 1980. Those homes were built solid. They will last. They could last you a lifetime, really. So, my advice to somebody considering buying homes is stay away from the newer shit, because the construction is just shit. Duplex, very smart. Yes, absolutely. That shit crazy. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Miss Ann, how are you, honey? Money making talk time. Yes, indeed. Money making talk time. Bradley. I try to find older cars less than 100,000. Yeah, that's a nice way of doing flips. You know, you don't have to flip houses. You could flip cars, man. There are auctions that are not restricted to dealers only. I mean, even here in Connecticut, there's like a once a month or twice a month auction down in North Haven where I could go, I could buy any fucking car. Dealers get these used cars all the time and they just send them to the auction. You know, go, you know, if you want to do that, you can get a dealer's license and you can go to all the sales and, you know, buy these cars, clean them up, put a new set of tires on them, you know, detail them nicely, change the oil, blah, blah, blah. You know, fix any major you don't want any major problems either. I mean, if you're at this auction, I mean, I went to a couple of these auctions to see what happens, and there's a guy driving this big old what was it? It was like a Lincoln Continental or something. It was like one of these cars that was in one of these services that drove people to and from the airport, right? And this thing pulled, you know, they were looking for, it had like 180,000 miles on it or something, high mileage, but, you know, it looked on the outside, looked good. You know, one of the guys drives the car up to the inside the building where they're conducting the auction. If something blows in the engine, starts spitting oil out. As the guy's driving it, everybody's like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" I think it sold for like $1,000. People like, "I'm not fucking with it." Well, somebody said, "You know, I'll take a chance on it." You know, they could sink a couple $1,000s into it and maybe flip it for 6,000-7,000. Buy gold and silver, yeah. Always have some gold and silver. I say, definitely buy gold and silver. It doesn't have to be a major part of your investment portfolio, but certainly put some of it in there and hold it for the long term. Gold, back when my kids were born in the early 90s, 91, 93, I think gold was something like $300, $400, maybe $500 an ounce. An ounce. You know, now you're lucky if you get 1/10 ounce gold U.S. You know, Eagles for under, you know, $370. You know, you're lucky if you find one. But still, that's gold, man. So if that's all you can get it. Bradley, always put back in the biz. Absolutely. That's a mistake a lot of people fall out. Yeah. You got to depreciate your vehicles, right? You got to depreciate everything. You know, your office, your computer, you know. Get a tax person to depreciate all this shit. Claim all this on your taxes, Bradley. Empty, thank you. Bradley, good accountant, CPA, yeah. Absolutely. It's all about that passive income. Yeah, that's the thing. When you get to my age, you want to have multiple sources of passive income where you don't have to fucking work. If you don't want to. If you want to keep working, we'll keep working, man. I mean, but you know, I don't want to keep working. I've been working on this hamster wheel my whole life. I'm ready to get the fuck off of it. 2 ways to make it in life: bust your ass or be like Slingshot Warrior and live off the taxpayer. Yeah, I mean, but you have to be a couple cans short of a 6-pack to get on that you know, disabled thing, you know. So it's not everybody can do that. Like you have that fat fuck Dave 25 trying to get the disability. Now this guy, I don't know how old he is. He might be like 27 years old now or something like that. I think he's older than 25. You got to have 40 quarters of earnings, 10 years of earnings in order to qualify for any sort of disability, is my understanding. I may be wrong on that. So, I mean, did this guy even work 10 years? I don't know. I don't think so. But, he's living in it. I think he's living in his grandparents' house, smoking pot and doing stupid shit on the internet, And, you get these low IQ people go there, and they're entertained by this bullshit that goes on in that area of the internet. I couldn't even live like that. But yeah, you got to work hard. Bradley, this will pay off for you in the long run. These years of hard work, you're going to look back 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you say it was fucking worth every minute of those long ass hours, working 12 hours a day. Going to work when it's dark, coming home when it's dark, being so exhausted you just fucking fall asleep with your clothes on. You know what I'm saying? It'll be worth it. What do you think about unions? Good or bad? Well, I think unions were good back in the day. They brought when manufacturing was here in the United States. All right, that's when unions were good because they enabled the middle class, the boomer generation, to earn a better earned income. Again, that's only one bucket. So back in the day, they were good. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm not involved in any unions. I think Noodles might be in the union somewhere. You got to ask him what he thinks about the unions. Miss Ann, is it? It's still solid. It's still sold. What? Wow. What do you mean, Miss Ann? What's sold? Gold? Yeah, gold's still sold. If that's what you mean. There's even enough gold that will go around back into the gold. They're not going to go back to the gold standard space in between. But the thing is, gold is an industrial material. It's used in computers and jewelry, everything. I mean, there's always uses for gold, and so it's a store of value. It's not a good investment to grow substantially, but over time, over a long period of time, 10 years, 20 years, it will go up in value, right? The thing is, it won't lose that much value. It may drop a little bit, but it'll bottom out. I mean, I think gold, since I've been following along, the lowest point in gold was maybe 1989, around there, where it was around $300 an ounce. I think silver was like $7 an ounce. Scumbag. Scumbag 25. Yeah. I can't waste my time with clowns like that. It's just, it's. I feel watching any of these people, my fucking brain starts dying. It's like your brain cells start dying. It's the same shit every day. Last night I was flipping around and I came across the junk man, and him, and then he had a bunch of people, and they were playing with Ponka, who's he's a retard, and he was trying to make the guy bark, and Bergs was there, and they were laughing at the guy, and one of the ladies from England was there, she's laughing. I'm like, you fucking people should know better, They're behaving like teenagers, Stupid, fucking stupid. Okay. Fenton art glass bliss. The space between, I don't think it's possible to go back to the gold standard. One of the biggest mistakes in U.S. history is taking us off the gold standard, making our currency basically worthless. Yeah, it definitely accelerated it. That's why the dollar will eventually collapse. You have to wish you had gold. Yeah, if the dollar collapses, guys, I'm fucked, But gold will still have its value. I'm not thinking that's going to happen anytime soon. But anything can happen. Putin is putting missiles in Belarus. Belarus means White Russian, right? So it's an area right next to Poland. And now Trump is saying he's going to put missiles in Poland. So you got fucking Poland and Belarus, nuclear fucking missiles. There was a report yesterday that I saw that Putin sent a nuclear warhead supplied plane to fucking Cuba, right? Do we have another Cuban Missile Crisis happening? People here are worried about the fucking Super Bowl, and the fucking idiots of YouTube are worried about, pranking a retard. Meanwhile, all this shit's happening in the world, man. I was talking in the car in the auction you mentioned. Oh yeah, the car. Yeah, man. Somebody got a good deal there, I think. Even a scrap value. You could part that fucking thing out. You sell the doors, sell the mirrors, anything, that people need. You could part that out for more than $1,000, no problem. I was in the street metal union. It's okay, but it's getting worse. Young people just aren't interested. Yeah. That's the thing. Young people aren't interested, and young people are not having kids. And so there's going to be massive demographic change where there's going to be fewer people. Us old farts are going to die off. I'm lucky. I'm 60. I'll be 61 next month. I'm lucky if I have another 25 years of relative health, But, I'm going to be fucking old someday where, getting up out of bed's going to be a chore. Never mind doing anything. Try to have more assets and liabilities. Yeah, the key, Bradley, have more money coming in than you have going out. Stay ahead of the game. Become cash heavy. And Bradley, I'm going to put that link into that guy that I was talking about earlier in the stream, Robert Eidson or whatever his name is. I want you to check him out. He talks to guys like you younger people that business, thinking business, succeeding, millionaire mindset, this sort of thing. Excellent content creator, this guy is. So I'm gonna link him in my description maybe later this afternoon when I get home. Oops. Stan, how many more days until you retire? Collect Social Security. Well, shit. It's gonna be I don't know the exact number. It's got to be somewhere around 380, something like that. A little over a year. Stan, Jen, the housing market going belly up. The housing market's not going to belly up, but I think it's gonna go down. I mean, simply because of supply and demand. I posted a link in my community tab of a guy Reven something or other. This guy has an app and he tracks trends. And there, he was going over a Wall Street Journal article from a few days ago that indicated that the average age of house purchasers prior to COVID was 46 or something like that, and now it's like 56. Fucking 56-year-olds are the average age buying houses. So like the older people are still buying houses. They still have money to buy houses. Maybe they're downsizing. They're selling a big house and then they're going to Florida or the Carolinas or buying something there. But the younger people they can't afford to buy a house. The prices are still too high. And so what's going to happen in the coming years, in the 20, 30 years forward, as we die off, the boomers die off, there's going to be even fewer demand. And so it's going to force the prices down, I think. I mean, so there are good deals out there, guys. Look at foreclosures in your state, in your area. Try to be cash heavy. try to buy a foreclosure. Be the ideal way to buy a foreclosure is to buy it and pay cash. I mean, that's more easier said than done. If all you have is $20,000 or $30,000, that could be a nice deposit on a duplex, right? Okay, but you become pre-qualified before you go to the auction, before you go to the foreclosure. Become pre-qualified for another 150, because if you bid this up to 125, 150, you put a deposit down, you got that loan in place. You gotta finalize the auction in Connecticut, at least the foreclosure sale, within 30 days of the auction date. So you got to come in there with a deposit check for 10% of the property. If the property is appraised at $225,000, you got to have $22,500 cashier check in hand to go and bid on this thing, right? And then what you do is you either put down cash and a loan on top of it to pay it off within 30 days, or you pay cash if you have cash. If you're cash heavy, pay it off, man. You got yourself a duplex. Look into foreclosures for the younger people, because buying retail, you're just gonna be overpaying, I think. Cindy, good morning, Cindy. How are you, honey? The Space Petite. What do you think will hold its value better in long term? Gold or valuable minerals? Or companies like, I think hold value. I think all of those you mentioned hold value. Growth, the stock market will keep moving forward, I think, more so than gold and silver. Gold, silver is a steady turtle, whereas the stock market's more of a parabolic thing. And you got to get in, and you got to watch your 401ks. You got to watch your IRAs. You got to watch what's in there. You got to stay on top. You got to buy. You got to move things in and out. You can't let it sit there, because you're gonna if it's too much for you to do, then hire a professional person to manage your money. I have wealth, platinum, gold, silver, copper. Yeah, I try to have a broad portfolio. Less war, more productivity. Worried about the wrong stuff. Yeah, I mean, you guys gotta focus on your controllables. We can't worry about world war. I mean, we can't do nothing about that, man. If that's what the controllers are planning on doing, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna blow up the fucking world, man. But you can't worry about that. You gotta go like things are gonna keep going the way they are. Things are gonna become more expensive. You got to find ways to get around that. Oh shit, it's already after 6, guys. I got to get going. Think going up many cities. Yeah, that's cool. Vinny. Bro, my wife's birthday, 3rd of February. Happy birthday to Vinny's wife. Reverse market crash. With these Freemasons being involved, what looks like a criminal mob. Jack, that's a rabbit hole you can go down into. But again, is it something you can control? Probably not. Focus on what you can control in your life. Okay, Vinny, we got you, bro. Happy birthday to his wife. I got it. I got the shout out. Thank you. I'm sorry I was way behind on the things here. Let me go through it. All right, guys, I got to roll. Thanks for stopping by today. Double tap the screen. Give me a thumbs up if you guys don't mind. I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody being here. I got to get to work, man. It's already after 6. I'm slacking. All right, guys, take care. Hope you liked the message today.